Welcome to Backyard Family Fun, the podcast from Pride Pools, Spas, and Leisure Products. In CLAXTON and Savannah, Georgia, celebrating 50 years serving our community, this family-owned business has spent decades helping create memories that last a lifetime. Whether you're a pool owner, a spa lover, or just looking to turn your outdoor space into a true retreat, we've got you covered right here on the Backyard Family Fun podcast. Welcome to Backyard Family Fun, brought to you by Pride Pools, Spas, and Leisure Products. So excited to be joined on this episode by Steve Metzger, who is with BioGuard, a district sales manager. Steve the man around here is what I hear you're called. I don't know if that's true or...
Oh, no. Pride does a great team themselves. They do everything themselves. We just help work together as a great teamwork for everything between water chemistry and solution solving for people to own pools in their backyard and spas as well.
Yeah.
We try to make it really simple.
I love that. It is such a team effort around here at Pride Pools. The team is so large, and there are so many people that you might not see right when you walk in the store. You know, here we are at the CLAXTON location recording this, and there's so many people behind the scenes that customers might not see right when they walk in the door.
That's exactly right. And Heather and Joe and Tiffany, the manager here, has done a great job helping create the atmosphere, a warm atmosphere for people to come in. And, we always know that when you come in, sometimes when it comes to pool or spa chemistry, it might be a little bit challenging.
That's right.
However, they make it really easy for you to enjoy your backyard oasis.
Yeah. Well, and that's one of the things I'm so excited about with this show is that listeners can have a pool expert right in their pocket, listen to them on their phone and, kind of hear a little bit of that and then walk in the store and get to know these wonderful folks if you never have walked in the store. But tell me a little bit about your background, Steve, and the relationship with BioGuard and Pride Pools and how that comes into play for folks that are coming in.
Well, great. I appreciate that, Dee. I've been with BioLab for a little over 18 years. BioLab is our parent company. BioGuard and SpaGuard are just a few of our brands. And I've teamed up with Pride for, we've had a lot of different events. I've been primary with them for about 5 years, but Sherry Buckman and part of the family atmosphere, I've known them for over 18 years.
Oh, wow.
So it's been really great. I've met them in different events over the years, and we come back and meet with Marshall and Alex and just see the whole Pride team. And I love their acronym for it. And so with that, we've teamed up pretty good. This is their kickoff of the 50th anniversary for the organization. And we're pretty proud at BioGuard as well because we hit 62 as well.
That's
so
awesome.
We've teamed up for a large portion of that time. We've been together, and it's been really a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's amazing. And gosh, I mean, you think about 50 years and 62 years and that amount of time, that says so many things in itself, right? It says quality, it says legacy, it says team. I mean, it really says a lot about trust within the communities that you are in and that you're serving.
Yeah, it's amazing just how to see how this, from our standpoint in BioGuard, we kind of helped start it off many years ago just with the basic algicide. And now we offer a full 3-step system from easy pool care that we'll talk about here a little bit later, but also for salt pool care. It's amazing how that's grown over the last 5 to 7 years as well.
Yeah, it is. That's funny you bring that up because we were just talking to the founder, Gary, about how things have changed over that 50 years in the pool industry and the spa industry and things like that. Technology has come such a long ways to be able to do certain things. People do love the salt water. People do love, being able to care for their pools in a more efficient way, and that's better for our health and things like that. And you guys are on the front line of that.
Oh, absolutely. And that's where we really break things down to try to make life easier with the 5 keys of pool care. One of the first things we start off with is just in sanitation from different stuff. But in the 5 keys, and breakdown of it is circulation, filtration, cleaning, testing, and last is chemicals. So when they come in and visit Pride, one of the first things the homeowner expects is it's all going to be chemically related.
Right.
But in essence, it's really not. That's only 20% of pool care. So we truly try to break this down and make it really simple for every homeowner as they come and visit the pros here at Pride.
Yeah. How long have you been doing this?
I've done this for close to 18 years, a little over
Wow.
18 years.
Ha
So,
you've seen this industry change over that time. I mean, what's been the most surprising thing for you that you've been like, "Oh my gosh, this is great." What's been on your radar in that time frame?
well, the biggest thing that's been on the radar is, you know, back in the day, some people just didn't, they just kind of expect the water to kind of do its own thing. And it's miraculously, well, why isn't it looking as good as before?
Right.
And now, as we've done different technologies with the BioGuard, we've done special patents and formulas. We've done with Algae Complete for algicides, for our basically for our third step. For our first step is SoCard Complete tabs. Back in the day, it's just a traditional white tab. Now we have a blue tab, and they've got SmartGuard technology in it that they seal themselves up when the person turns their pump off.
Wow.
And so, innovation from that, and our Smart Shock for our step two, you can be added a shock to your pool, and you can be swimming in 15 minutes. Not the traditional. People used to only just put stuff in at night and wait all night
That's
long.
right.
So it makes it really quite easy for a simplified 3-step program.
We do like it quick these days. If we've
Absolutely.
got a
Yesterday.
pool or a spa, we wanna get in it, like, immediately.
Exactly. And that's probably the biggest thing that's changed a lot is trying to work with the homeowner that
Yeah.
it does take a little bit of time to help create the solutions for it. Those things didn't happen overnight. So we do have to give them a little bit of patience
Yeah.
that adding in the right product at the right time with the right amount, we're really out there to help save the customer money in the long run and enjoy their backyard oasis by protecting all their equipment.
Yeah, I love that. One of the things that I know people around here are super excited about is pool school. Can you talk about that and tell us when it is?
Well, great. Yes, as pool school we got here in CLAXTON, we have coming up here on April 22nd. And in the Savannah location, we have on April 24th. And that's both of them are at 6:30 p.m. Feel free to call either one of the stores, and we'll be glad to sign you up ahead of time. As I preferenced a little bit earlier, we really try to focus on what we call the 5 keys of pool care. Number 1 of circulation. We want to help move the water. We want to help homeowners realize that moving that water allows the chemicals to do a better job and also doesn't allow algae or other board items to grow. One of the fun things we share in our classes is, the water that's just sitting stagnant, that's kind of a pond, but
Yeah.
we want to get things moving. But then we'll cover a little bit more in detail on filtration. In filtration, we're trying to remove that debris or the organics that we break down with our chemistry. And once we remove that stuff out, that allows your pool to look that much better. And then our third key is cleaning. While the chemicals do a great job, sometimes you still need to put in a little bit of elbow
That's
grease
right.
and get out the brush and brush the walls of the pool, ideally weekly. And you're focusing on what we call the dead spots, certain areas that might not get into the pool in the corners or behind ladders or niches. Makes it really easy. Plus, it gives you a nice little relaxation time. It should only take you a few minutes a week. And then we get into also testing chemicals on it. At home, you should ideally test your water at least once a week. And we want to have a good water sample. So also, Pride offers free water analysis. So if you come in, we want to have an ideal water sample about elbow deep in the water,
Okay.
away from the skimmer or returns. Come on in, visit Pride, and they'll give you a full detailed water analysis using ALEX, which is an acronym for our analysis expert. But even at home, you might use test strips or whatnot. And what we want to do is we're just keeping an eye on mostly the pH and your chlorine levels.
Okay.
Okay. So the last key is chemicals itself. But circulation, filtration, cleaning, and testing, that's the majority of what the homeowner does. Chemistry is only 20%. And what we'll cover a little bit more in the classes is what's the ideal system for you as the homeowner?
Right.
We got different options. You see different options of vehicles, standard sedans or trucks.
Right.
We have different options when it comes into chemistry. And the Pride team really works very well to help divide and create a system that's perfect for you and your lifestyle.
Yeah. I love that because, you think about maybe your lifestyle is a certain way and you've got a certain size of a pool or a spa, and there everything is so different. So it's, how many times can I be checking this or putting this in? What kind of setup do I need? Sometimes that's really overwhelming for a lot of folks. So I think, pool school is a great way to come in and sort of map that out for your individual need.
That's exactly right. And I think everybody always needs a refresher. As we
Mm-hmm.
kind of say, our pools, while here in the Claxton and Savannah area, we could have them to a 32-week pool season.
Mm-hmm. That's
And
right.
sometimes you forget some of those old tips and tricks,
Yeah.
and sometimes you fall into a little bit of challenging habits.
Yeah.
So we want to dust that off and get back to school and take a little less than an hour of your time to really get to know the friends and family at Pride, and also just to refresh things and make it really easy, because that's probably the biggest changes, as you asked before.
Mm-hmm.
Some people think it's just set it and forget it, but
Right.
you do need to give it about 15, 20 minutes on a weekly application.
Yeah.
Really keeps your pool looking great. And
Yeah.
we all love those pool owners, love to host our friends and family,
Yes.
because when it all comes down to it, we always want to keep people know about algae, and we have fun in the class. Algae is always the smartest thing in the world. It comes around right on the weekends or right before the pool party.
That's right.
So, well, we're just out
Uninvited.
here to be uninvited, and it's things that linger around sometimes. But if we follow some of these tips and tricks, we were really looking at proactive pool care and spa care. Well, the class is focusing primarily on pools, but Pride can give you some tips and tricks on spa care as well.
Yeah.
We want to be on ounce of prevention goes a long way.
Right. Right. And you, Steve, deal with so many great customers in such a wide span area. I mean, you're up and down the southeastern coast and that sort of thing, which is wonderful. And because of the environment that we have in Savannah and Claxton and coastal Georgia, I feel like pool care is a little different, and you really do kind of need someone who knows, exactly what's going on with the environment, with the chemistry part, and sort of putting all that together is very helpful.
Yeah, and that's where you hit the nail on the head. There are a lot of things different geographically, and one of the things we'll cover a lot in the pool schools, we're trying to help monitor your pH and your alkalinity.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of that stuff is airborne.
Yeah.
You can't control everything that's out there.
Right.
But we'll give you some tips, and a preview to the classes. If you see the weather coming around and you have excessive rain, what's definition of excessive rain? If you're uncomfortable with that rainfall for lasting an hour or 2 hours, it's a good tip to go back and add in an extra maintenance dosage of algicide or your oxidizer of choice, be it Smart Shock or Burnout 73.
Mm-hmm.
Those are some tips and tricks to do after that. And if you're running, you got a huge pool party and you have many of your friends coming in there, after that party's over, you might want to go ahead and do an extra dosage of some tips and tricks of the algicide and or the oxidizer.
Okay.
But, and for this geographical area, when we run excessive heat, we get a product called Smart Shield that helps from allowing the evaporation of your water to go in there. And when we talk about circulation and filtration, we'll give you some different tips, because some people have habits that they want to backwash their pool to remove those contaminants from the filter
Right.
on a weekly basis. But we're trying to look at that by your pressure gauge. We want to look at that as only backwash about 8 to 10 psi above its normal. So they're not backwashing all the good chemicals and then have to do a partial top off.
Right.
And we have to retreat. We really are with Pride and with BioGuard. Our whole focus is really trying to help the homeowner add the right amount of product at the right time. Makes their job a lot easier. It's one of those fun things. People say, oh, you work for a chemical manufacturer. It's all about more chemicals. And really not. From BioGuard and Pride team, we're really out there trying to help use less chemicals.
Sure.
And be more efficient for you in your backyard.
Yeah, I love that. Let me ask you this too. I mean, I know you're going to go in depth to some of these things at pool school, but you mentioned test strips, and when we're testing things at home, sometimes I look at those test strips and I got to tell you, they confuse me a little bit, because I'll see the colors running in certain directions and I'm like, it would be so much easier for me to take that sample in, to Pride Pools and sort of get that analysis, because I might add the wrong stuff, in the wrong amount. And I do worry a little bit about that.
And that is exactly right. And that's why we really do encourage you to come in Pride, at least on a monthly
Right.
basis from it. Because at home, a lot of the test strips that are out there and different tools, they're not going to be as in depth. Pride has made the financial investment in a lot of the testing equipment and to the education and training of their employees that really knows how to take the analysis and apply it toward your backyard, because we want to simplify the chemistry for you, but it is important to have the right things balanced. And they'll give you the analysis between your pH and your alkalinity and your total chlorine and your free chlorine and your phosphates and your calcium hardness. We try to make things easier for you because there's a lot of things that we'll cover. We call Langley's Saturation Index. It's not proprietary to BioGuard or Pride, but it's what the industry looks at. And Pride team has that equipment to make your life a lot easier.
Yeah, that's why I come to people like you, because words like that. I couldn't repeat that if you asked me or paid me to do it.
Well, that's why I shared is we try to make it simplified for everybody. There's Langley's Saturation Index, Gage Bidwell Law. There's a lot of different things that we try to simplify it. And as you mentioned, in my tenure, about 15 years ago, we tried taking some of these classes to really into detail about OH positive and negative. And we realized after about 5 minutes in class, we lose the attention span of everybody that's there. Yeah. We really try to make things simplified for everybody.
Yeah, and that's really what it's all about. I mean, so many people love walking in the doors of Pride Pools and saying, I know I can come with my specific needs for my backyard, for my family, for my lifestyle, for what I have, and get a map and really get the products. You can do it all here, which is something I think has made 50 years for Pride Pools, is the fact that you from 0 to 100 or start to finish or whatever you want to call it, you can do it all in-house here.
Absolutely. And you hit the nail on the head. 50 years is a long time in any atmosphere, but they're always here to help everybody. We just encourage you, come on in and sign up for the pool school itself. Again, for the CLAXTON location, it's on April 27th, and Savannah will be April 24th.
Right.
And in the meantime, bring a water sample in, and they'll be glad to help you out.
Yeah. And of course, we'll have the dates in the show notes of this episode. So in case you forget, you can click on that right there. And of course, the phone number will be there. Go ahead and call prior to so you get on the list. You said 6:30 at both locations.
Yep, 6:30 for about an hour and a half and they'll have a great extra time to one-on-one with different employees at each location, and you can be all set and get jump-started for the rest of the pool season.
That's nice. And free, right? It's free for everybody.
Absolutely.
I mean, goodness, that makes it worth it right there. I mean, that's fantastic. Before we go, Steve, one thing we like to talk about too on this show, you're around all of this fantastic pool lifestyle, backyard family fun sort of products and all the things. Do you like to swim yourself?
Oh, I love it.
Yeah?
Definitely. I travel a lot, but when I get home, I do like to relax in it.
Right.
That's definitely it. Between that and the spa is quite enjoyable too.
Oh, so good, right? Yeah. I think the older I've gotten, the more I do enjoy the spa a little bit more, but I still love getting in the pool too.
Definitely.
Yeah.
It's great exercise and great family bonding and friendship.
It really is. Well, Steve, thank you so much. This has been a really, really good pleasure to get to know what you do and really sort of go in depth about this. I'm excited about pool school. I think this is going to be such a great time and a great year for the community to sort of come in and not only learn this stuff, but get to know the team here, because they have your back through all the seasons, here in Savannah and this area. Weather changes a lot. So, I mean, I feel like, things fluctuate with the needs of all these wonderful spa and leisure products that we have. The stuff changes and we need to sort of, evaluate that. And they really walk you through it every step of the way.
They're definitely a great teamwork to help out.
Steve, thank you. This has been a lot of fun.
Thank you very much, Dee. I appreciate your time.
So make sure you sign up today for Pool School. Now, Pool School is happening at both locations, one in Claxton, one in Savannah. Classes are filling up super fast. The Claxton location, Pool School, is on Tuesday, April 22nd at 6:30, and in Savannah on Thursday, April 24th at 6:30. Make sure you RSVP because it is a great opportunity to learn the proper way to create and maintain the optimal pool experience. And on top of this, the event is free, so you know it's going to fill up fast. Plenty of refreshments available and a free gift for everyone who attends. And on top of that, you get special discounts on chemicals. Only valid the night of Pool School. That's a reason to go back to school. So for our Backyard Family Fun podcast fans, make sure you look in the show notes of this episode for phone numbers for both locations, Claxton and Savannah, so you can RSVP for Pool School and get your seat. We'll see you there. Let the celebrations continue. The team at Pride Pools is excited to give you a huge anniversary special. Actually, 3 of them. To celebrate 50 years all year long, you can get up to $10,000 in savings on 3 anniversary fiberglass pools. There are 3 sizes to choose from: the backyard size, the family size, and the fun size. How cool is that? So stop by the Claxton or Savannah locations of Pride Pools or go to pridepools.com for more information. And as a crazy awesome deal for our Backyard Family Fun podcast fans, you get 10% off anything inside either location in Claxton and Savannah, excluding pools, hot tubs, or saunas when you mention the podcast. That's all you have to do. Go and visit the Claxton or Savannah Pride Pools, mention the podcast, and get 10% off. Now that's a reason to celebrate. Thanks for listening. Come by and meet your local pool and spa experts in Claxton on Highway 280 West or in Savannah on Gateway Boulevard South, or go to pridepools.com. If you love Backyard Family Fun as much as we do, be sure to give us a rating and review and subscribe or follow on your favorite podcast platform so you never miss an episode. And if you have a question or topic you'd love for us to cover, drop us an email, info@pridepools.com, or tap the links for Facebook or Instagram in the show notes of this episode. We'd love to hear from you. Now let's go make a splash and have some backyard family fun.
Pride Pools.